يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي.
I quickly ask one question.
Yeah, sure.
Were you talking about abortion? Was I right in hearing that you said, according to Islam, it's justifiable to have an abortion
in certain circumstances? Yeah. So there's difference of opinion amongst the ulama, amongst the scholars. So many of them say it's completely wrong, like the lady over there said, like regardless of what circumstance, what situation. Yes, but there are many scholars who do counter that and say that if the life is in danger of the mother, then you're permitted. If there is a situation of rape and the child may be looked upon in a bad way by the parents or whatever it is, then obviously that won't be conducive. But then, like I said, there are always alternatives to give that child for adoption or something like that. So in Islam, regarding these circumstances, exceptional circumstances, there is a difference of opinion. However, if there is no circumstances other than, oh, you made a mistake, then yes, you can't just abort a child, because that is taking life.
I can understand it
unjustly,
except for your personal view for abortion abortion in the circumstances of rape. Where do you stand on that?
I stand with the ulamas who say that in this circumstance it's permitted to abort.
Okay,
but like I said, I also have a feeling that those parents who are seeking this fatwa, this ruling, that should I abort all the time? No, they're given the choice as parents to not abort. So if they don't want to abort, then they have the option not to abort, which in fact is a better one, because like I said, a life of a child who has no way to defend itself, yes, taking that life is the most unjust thing anyone can do.
When do you think the human life fundamentally begins?
I think where the mother's life is in danger, then I would say definitely that takes precedence.
No, sorry. I mean, I asked, when do you think a human life fundamentally begins?
Oh, from the time of conception.
So here's what I would disagree with rape as well, abortion in the case of rape.
Okay, go on.
From a logical perspective, imagine I'm getting to this destination, let's call this place X, right? One way I go this way, second way I go like that. Right? I know this sounds a bit random, but
I know past consideration.
Here's the point. Fundamentally, I came to the same destination. I just went through different routes. Okay? Well, let me relate that. In the circumstance of rape, compare that to when someone willingly decided to consummate and have a child. The method itself may have been different, but the fundamental destination or product of that circumstance is the same, right? And if life begins at conception, then irrespective of the fact that it originated from a horrible sin of rape, that doesn't therefore deny the fact that that child is still a child alive, and it's therefore logically incoherent to justify murdering that. So then it's like you can't.
That's the reason I told you there's a difference of opinion.
I know, but
so I never said it's completely okay or it's completely wrong. What I'm saying is that in that circumstance where the mother has been to a trauma, yes, and trust me, you cannot and I cannot understand this trauma. Yes, of rape. Yes, and even the women who are here, even they cannot understand from the victim's perspective what rape and what the consequences of that is going to be. So for us to judge them from here, I think that's pretty selfish. But if I'm saying what I said, the reason I said not to discuss the exceptions is because most of the abortions that do take place, I would say 95 to 98%, yes, is because of unwanted pregnancy. And that is what I'm saying. Let's discuss the ones that who really are guilty, rather than judging those exceptional circumstances where it would have been very difficult to lose, let alone lose a child, but to think of the trauma that they went through when they were forcibly raped itself, I cannot fathom that.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, if you actually were someone arguing for abortion when they unplanned it, then this would be a different discussion, but I'm focusing on
the exception. So you as a Christian, what would you say?
I'd say it's the only circumstance it could be potentially justifiable.
Justified by religion or by you?
I think from what I understand of the Bible, I need to do more digging.
It's not in the Bible, trust me.
I know not explicitly, but from what
even it is if you count it as murder.
I mean,
because murder is forbidden by the Bible, and if as you say, life starts on
good point, actually.
I mean, in the sense that
we were talking about the exceptions.
I would only say where the woman's life is in danger in the circumstance as well, or where the baby's life is in danger as well, then by you choosing an abortion in that circumstance, if there aren't any other medical options, but you choosing an abortion is morally justifiable because you're not introducing death into the situation. You're merely trying to maneuver it to minimize.
Well, you're introducing the death of one. No, there has to be one of them that you are deciding to kill.
I'm saying two of them are going to die, right?
Oh, both of them?
Imagine both of them. Then of course you're going to go for minimizing the death.
But you still have killed one, right? So there is death involved.
I would disagree. I wouldn't say that you killed
my friend, there is still death involved. What you have done is you have done something called the lesser evil. Something called the lesser evil. So instead of killing both of them, yes, you would rather choose one of them dies, the other lives. There is still death involved. You wouldn't say that is not involved.
I wouldn't disagree that death is involved. I disagree where killing is involved. On the basis...
It's still killing, my friend.
Okay, well, I would say it's murder. It's killing, but it's not murder.
In the case of the child, abortion, like you said, which is a good point, and I do agree with that, it's murder.
I wouldn't say it's murder.
Why not?
Because there's a distinction between murder and killing.
Okay.
Right? Murder would be sinful, but killing is not sinful.
Why would you not consider it murder? Let's define that. Sorry, let's understand that first. Why would you think abortion...
In that circumstance.
In that circumstance would not be murder.
Okay, because death is already present within the circumstance, however you look at it. Right?
Whose death is present?
Both the mothers and the child.
Okay.
And all you are simply doing is trying to minimize the effects of that death that is always going to be present.
By doing what?
By bringing the child to die first.
By murdering one.
But wait, it's not murder though.
It is, but it's semantics now.
I'm not, but semantics, but it's important because murder...
I know there's a justified reason.
Murder would be...
Wait, there's a justified reason, in this case, to save one life instead of losing both. There is a justification. There's a justification. Well, if you think otherwise abortion is murder, then you would also call this murder.
No, because the definition...
So in a circumstance where there's unplanned unplanned pregnancy, why is that murder and not this?
Here's why, and it is kind of semantics, depends where you got that.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but here's the thing. Murder would be defined as unjustifiable killing in the eyes of God, whereas killing is just generic. Killing is a more umbrella term, right? You can kill, you can take away life, but murder is that compartment of killing, which is where it is unjustifiable in the eyes of God. There is some killing that would be justifiable.
Okay. So what justification is in this case? Saving the mother?
Is that you're saving the mother by rerouting the scope of the death to only take one.
Okay, fair enough. I'll accept that.
Okay.
I don't see, because like I said, the whole reason of giving this as an exception from the Islamic perspective was for the same reason. So in that case, this is an exception. But I mean, as a Christian, it doesn't work with rape.
Here's why. The problem is with rape is that fundamentally on a biological level, that child is still a child. It's the same if it came from a normal conception, chosen conception. And so I know you say the trauma of the woman and so on, but it doesn't make sense to say the woman has been through a traumatic experience, therefore it betters the situation morally to then add murder to it. And I've actually heard many testimonies from women, not personally but on the internet and so on, saying that they actually didn't, in the long term, didn't feel better from adding to their rape the fact that now there was a murder of an innocent child.
But you also have the converse, right?
What do you mean?
The women who are glad that they aborted.
Yeah, and I'm saying their feelings aren't the arbiter of morality. I'm saying fundamentally, the fact of the matter is that it is wrong to kill an innocent child, and that child should not be paying for the sins of an evil man.
You know, you said innocent child now for this case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for the other case, you use the word justification.
Yeah.
Why would you make a distinction between the two? Because as far as I'm concerned, both were children, both were innocent. But in that case, you use the word, you use the word justification, and you did not use the word innocent. I don't know if you realize that.
I didn't realize it.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Well.
Was that child innocent? Is it just to kill an innocent child?
It's somewhat straw-man to phrase it.
Say again.
Phrasing it so reductively is kind of like...
What do you mean? This is a clear-cut...
It can be.
An innocent child, listen to this, an innocent child is a child who has done no wrong, a child who had no control over its being born, a child who is unable to defend itself, or to question the killer or the murderer, why you're killing me.
I understand.
Now you tell me, how is that not innocent?
I never said it wasn't innocent.
So it is innocent.
I agree.
Okay, now the question to you is this. Is it just to kill an innocent child in any circumstance?
Potentially.
Give me a circumstance.
There's the one circumstance we talked about in the case of the abortion where that child is always going to die anyway, and you're simply now introducing that death earlier than it would have ordinarily came to term naturally.
Yeah, but imagine this. If you had the option to save the child and not the mother, what would you have done then?
If I had the option to save the child or the mother?
And not the mother,
I think So I've talked to a man who was pregnant with his wife.
Okay.
And they talked about it, and she said personally, she feels like the most loving, Christ-like, sacrificial thing to do would be to let that child live and let her die for the sake of her child.
Ah, you see, you switched.
I didn't switch. There was two different circumstances.
No, it's the same circumstance.
Isn't. Circumstance one is where they're both definitely going to die, unless you.
But why did you choose to save the child then? Sorry, to kill the child and save the mother then? If both of them are going to die, then why would you save?
That's different to circumstance two, where his wife.
Is it? I thought you said both are going to die.
Circumstance two. In the second circumstance, one of them is going to die. Didn't you say that?
No. Let me clarify. Okay. So there's a circumstance where you said both of them were going to die.
Unless
if both of them were going to die,
unless you abort the child,
then you cannot say, I'm going to save the mother and not the child.
The mother was definitely.
Or you cannot say, I'm going to save the child and not the mother, because if both the possibilities existed when they were both going to die, and the doctor comes and tells you, I can only save one of them.
That's right. Let me rephrase it. The child is always going to die. The mother can be saved if the child is brought to abortion early. That's the circumstance.
Second, if the child is always going to die.
Naturally, both will die.
Yeah.
But the child is always going to die. The mother could be saved if the child was brought to abortion early.
Oh, I see. So in that case, there wasn't much of an option anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a completely different. Because I thought it was when you said both of them are going to die, and then you only decide to kill the child, not the mother.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yes. But anyway, I think, look, like I said, these are exceptional cases. You also mentioned Christ-like sacrifice in this circumstance.
As in
the raped woman.
No, this wasn't.
No, it was the other way around.
I was talking about a guy I knew. Him and his wife were pregnant, and they were considering worst-case scenario. Imagine my life is in danger, and it's me or the child.
Okay.
She said she would rather herself die and then let her child be born than it be the other way around.
Okay.
She
now, why is that?
I don't know.
No. Why is that Christ-like? Because in the case of Christ, it wasn't like his life was in danger, and hence he was willing to give up his life for mankind's sins. It's not Christ-like at all.
Okay. It's Christ.
In fact, if Christ was God,
then
and if he had the ability to forgive, do you believe he had the ability to forgive?
Yeah, but you need to define it properly.
Forgive means if I forgive your sins are forgiven.
It's
There's no debt remaining.
In Christianity, you know that there is the difference in terms of we're talking about penal substitution and atonement. We don't look at it very reductively as.
There's no forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that is just or unjust?
I think that is just.
Oh, sorry. I know I was going to give you a chance to speak.
It was a little bit Old Testament since Jesus.
No, but even Jesus, that was blood.
That was blood.
And these are his statements. When he said there is no forgiveness without the shedding of blood. Yes, please. I need a refill. Thank you very much.
And this is really annoying to go mid-debate, but I got a charge service in 10 minutes to get down.
Oh, is it? Okay. So do you believe forgiveness is an attribute of God?
Forgiveness as an attribute.
Means is it something that is intrinsic? Without that, you cannot say that is God.
Not necessarily. I'd say you could say that forgiveness is an extension of justice, or forgiveness is an extension of love, and love and justice, or perhaps love is a fundamental attribute of God. But not forgiveness.
How would you consider it justice to kill an innocent man or an animal for the sins of others? How is that justice? Or even love?
Well, again, there are two different views of justice. You got I can't remember. One of them's a consequentialist approach to justice. I can't remember the other.
Second, sorry, I didn't catch that.
The consequentialist approach to justice. I think William Lane, Dr. William Lane Craig.
Yeah.
He did a talk on this about the two approaches to justice and how, in one view of justice, it would appear unjust. But I think if it perhaps was a consequentialist approach, then it can be just. I honestly can't remember. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. I haven't been for months here.
But look, when I look at it from
it's unjust
from a humanistic perspective. Yes, because you were very articulate in the way you considered certain abortion to be just and the others to be unjust. Yes, but you see, this is something fundamental to your belief. And I find it quite odd that you haven't actually studied this.
I have studied this. It's just
and you're unable to articulate this fundamental aspect of your belief, like the way you were able to do abortion.
It's because I've had more abortion debates at school than Christians.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have some debates with Muslims next time.
I will. I'll see how
what's your name?
Luca.
Nice. I think we did speak before. Hashim.
Nice to speak to you. Take care.
Next time, yeah?
See you
around. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, assalamu alaikum guys. Jazakallah khairan.
يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني قلبي